Shalom Chabrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. We do have breaking news this evening here. According to Amman, this is a Syrian news report here. It says the Syrian army and Turkish forces clash for the first time in East Aleppo. Opposition media, according to what they're saying there, that the Syrian opposition activists claimed via their social media accounts on Thursday that clashes broke out between the Syrian Arab army and the Turkish forces in al-Bab countryside there. Reports of these clashes between the Syrian Arab army and the Euphrates Shield fighters surfaced around 3:30 p.m. Damascus time when the former reached another part of the Turkish-backed forces' front lines. Now, whether or not this is can actually be verified or not. The news agency said they were not able to verify it. But what really was odd, though, at the same time that this goes on today, RT is also reporting that 3 Turkish soldiers were accidentally killed in a Russian airstrike in Syria, according to, and of course Moscow has confirmed this, as President Putin has called President Erdogan to express his condolences for this accident. They were not sure how that happened. Then again, maybe this conflict between the Syrian and the Turkish forces there on the ground outside of al-Bab, that could have played a role in this particular accident where the Russian forces have actually bombed the Turkish forces there. I have spoke before with one of RT's reporters that has shared with me that it is a fact that yes, the Syrians and the Turkish do from time to time bomb and attack one another. It is generally tit for tat. But seeing Russia get involved with Turkey is something you probably will not see because the stakes are too high. That's just one thing that it was shared with me not too long ago. And of course, this is a tremendous no doubt puts a strain on the relationship between Russia and Turkey, especially after Turkey had shot down one of Russia's Sukhoi bombers, and one of their pilots was actually killed by the radicals that were inside Syria as he parachuted in behind enemy lines there. So whether or not Erdogan considers that a tit for tat, not really sure. It doesn't seem that President Putin is looking at it like that. He's trying to apologize, calling him immediately himself on the phone, something Erdogan did not do in the case of when the Russian Sukhoi bomber was shot down by a Turkish F-16. Other news as well. NATO buildup in Eastern Europe is a threat to Russian security, which is something that is being said by spokesman for Russia. Actually was said earlier today by Deputy Foreign Minister Alexei Mishkov. He said, while giving assurances that Russia will be able to protect its citizens, the deployment is, of course, a threat for us. Mishkov said in an interview with RIA Novosti, adding that Moscow is closely following the moves by NATO. And who said that it will end with this? We don't have such information, he goes on to state. The Russian Deputy Foreign Minister added, the rotation principle used by NATO near Russia's borders allows the bloc to train thousands of troops who could then be put into action, Mishkov stated there. It's obvious that the steps by NATO gravely increase the risk of incidents between the alliances and Russian forces. Mishkov warned, for the first time since World War II, we see German soldiers along our borders. This is something that Russia really takes personally there after fighting the war with Germans during World War II, and so many thousands, tens of thousands of Russian soldiers died at the hands of the Germans. So it's something very, very sensitive still yet for the Russian high command. Also in other news as well, and already happened on his particular page there, he was showing U.S. military hardware has arrived in Latvia from Poland today. And as you can see, this long rail car there of tanks, Abram 1 tanks, as well as other equipment that was headed into that region there. Something that is certainly raising more and more tensions with Russia as all this fighting mechanisms are going in there, something that was promised and sent in by the Obama administration, but unfortunately we're not seeing anything back down with President Trump into office. Also, Mikel D on his Twitter page. There are several things he shared here that I thought was interesting here. One, Russian commander in the southern MD troops, Colonel General Alexander Dvornovkov, is inspecting military unit formations located inside of Crimea. Another one that I thought was of an interest was the U.S. Army exercising the Green Dragon at the Kandinas Air Base in Japan. Priority is to maintain wartime readiness. Now, that could be either looked at as far as North Korea, or we could be looking at it as well as far as Russia also, off the eastern coast there, especially with NATO troops all around, and even in Romania now, the U.S. troops have built up there as well. All these things, Russia considering a provocation. Whether or not they consider Japan a provocation or not, I'm not really sure. This was another interesting one right here. This is the actual column of tanks we saw in the picture there on already happening Lorenzo's site, coming in by train to Latvia from Poland here. I just wanted to share this image with you here, seeing this long line of tanks, equipment, manpower, everything as it comes into Latvia. Again, we're seeing Abrams loaded here on the rail cars, just one after another, all pouring into Latvia. They're bordering Russia as well as Belarus there. Keeping in mind that the Zapad exercise by Russia will be coming up sometime in 2017, and Russia as well has moved a tremendous amount of military hardware into Belarus, and that is only going to raise tensions as well. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.